Welcome to the FormHippo video channel. Today we're going to be covering multi-party signatures. So this allows you to send a PDF document to more than one party and have them sign it. So for those of you who have been using FormHippo in the past, you send documents for signature using this PDF form button. Well, today I'm going to show you a new feature that's coming out where you're going to be able to send documents to multiple people and have them sign them and send them right back to you, all HIPAA compliant. So let's jump right in. I'm logged into my MailHippo account here, and the first thing I'm going to do is click on PDF form. This will bring up the PDF form window, and the first thing we do is we enter the recipient address, and this is consistent with the way it has been. So our first recipient is okay, and then we're going to upload our form. So we're going to select our form, PDF form, from our device. So we'll grab this simple couples intake assessment that'll allow us for two recipients sample here. All right, so the form is loaded and we can see it over here on the right. This is where departure from what you're used to seeing if you've been using FormHippo to send documents for signature in the past. You'll see we've got three buttons up here at the top where there used to just be one. We've got to add signature field, add initials field. We now support initials, and we can add a text field. And this text field is going to be specific for the particular recipient. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Over here on the left, we've got our recipients where we can remove or add additional recipients. And then we've got the subject line here. And if we want to do an optional message, we have that as well. So let's jump right in here. Let's take a look at this form. We've got some basic fields. This is a test form. We've got some places for initials, got a client initials, partner initials, and then we've got a place for signature, the client signature and the partner signature. So this particular form is set up for two people to interact with and to sign an initial. So let's go ahead and handle all the fields for the first recipient, which is Mary. We're going to go ahead and add, the first thing we're going to add are some text fields. So we've got to let her fill in their client name and date of birth. So let's just do that real quick. We'll add a text field for the client name, and we'll add one for the date of birth. And those will be our two fields, our text fields for this recipient. You can see the fields show up over here on the left. If you make a mistake, you can delete it as well. Now let's add the initial field and the signature field for this recipient. So we've got client initials. We're going to add the initial field. Click on this button, drag your initial field right here, and we'll drop it in there. And we'll add the signature field now down here towards the bottom. And this is going to be for the initial recipient. All right, so we've added all the fields for recipient one, which is Mary. We need to add the additional recipient, which is going to be Mary's partner, and all the associated fields for the partner. So let's do that right now. We'll scroll back to the top. We're going to click on Add Recipient. We're going to add another recipient to this PDF. And in this case, we'll put in the next email address, which is John T. Doe, recipient. And here's our additional recipient here, our second one. We're going to go ahead and add some text fields for John. We're going to add the name. So these text fields that we're adding in this process are specific to each one of these recipients. So these blue text fields, only John is going to be able to type into, whereas these other ones up here, only Mary will be able to type into. So they will not be able to interact. They'll only be able to interact with the fields that are set for that particular recipient. Add one more text field for John's date of birth over here. Now let's add John's initials down here and add initial field. And again, the color is going to be blue, which indicates it's for the second recipient for John. There's the initial field, and we'll add the signature field for John, and we'll be finished with this part. There we go. So John is the partner. All right, so that's all the fields. So we've got signature fields, initial fields, and text fields for each one of these. And again, your subject is down here. When you're all done, you can hit on, you click on send. If you want to add, now notice these generic fields are for either recipient can fill these out. The fields that we added here that are marked in blue or in gray are specific to the particular recipient, so only they can interact with them. If you want to add additional fields in here for some reason, you can do that as well. You can click on the Add and Edit Form Fields button, and you can drop in another checkbox if you wanted to for some reason. And again, this is a generic checkbox. Any of fields that are added with these controls are available to both parties or all parties to interact with. All right, when we're all done, everything looks good, we can go ahead and hit send, and the message is going to be sent to the first recipient. So our first recipient was Mary. We're going to dive into Mary's Gmail box here so we can see what the recipient sees on their end. And we see here that we've got a notification email and a temporary password. So let's grab that password, and we'll go back and we'll open up the PDF that we sent to her to sign. So we're going to log in as Mary, and we go. We're going to skip this password creation right now. So Mary's going to get presented in her browser the form that we sent to both recipients, and she will be able to interact with the standard form fields. This is a standard. Okay. And then for client name, these are the fields that we put in that are associated with an individual recipient. So you notice they're in red, and only Mary can interact with these fields. You notice that the fields that we put in for John, Mary can't access. So it's a difference between those two types of fields. So we're just going to put in Mary's name, date of birth. All right. So let's go ahead then down here and sign. Put some test text in here. And we're going to go ahead and we'll just hit sign. It'll take us down to the area that needs to be initialed. So this is a little different as well from the original FormHippo signatures, because we have a name field and an initial field. So the recipient is typing in their name as they want it to appear in the signature field. So we'll just put in here Mary Jane. And we'll see the initials are already filled in. If they want to change that, they can. And then agree to the ERSD, sign the document. And that's going to place the initials or I'm going to cancel this so we can see where it placed them. We will see that the initials are placed right here in that field. So the client can either hit the sign button to go to the next signature or initial field, or they can just click on the sign here area. It'll bring up the apply electronic signature again. They click sign, and their signature will be applied. I'm going to cancel this because I want to show you that if the field, one of those fields that we put in initially, if one of those fields is not filled out, let's just take out this date of birth. It's going to, these are required fields, so they have to fill these out. So we can see that when I tried to click save and send, the system didn't let them. So we'll go ahead and put something in there now, and we'll be able to send it. So as soon as they click save and send, the message will be sent. And then if they want to, they can download a copy of the form as well. So let's jump back over to the sender's account, the originator's sender account in MailHippo, and take a look and see what we see, because we've sent the message to the initial recipient. The initial recipient has signed the message, and now the message has been sent on to the second recipient. So what do we see here? We see that we have a message sent to Mary, and now we see that the message was sent to John. If we want to see even more detail, we can click on the little eyeball, and this will show us exactly what's happened to that message and what time. So we can see the message was sent at 8:56. It was viewed by Mary, the initial recipient, and then it was initially signed by Mary at 9:03. And we have Mary's name and Mary's IP address where it was signed. So that gives us a message history of each step in the process. So there's one final step. It's sitting in John's inbox. He's been notified, and we're waiting for John to complete the signature process. So let's head over there and finish it up. So we're going to pretend like we're John in this case and log into John's Gmail account, and we'll see what that looks like. Very similar to what we saw before. So we see that we have a notification email and a temporary password. So let's grab that temporary password, and we will log in as John and complete the signature process. Click on the View Secure Message, log into FormHippo, and now John's going to be presented with the form and be able to interact with it and sign it. So now we see Mary's responses up here, but we cannot interact with these fields. Those are Mary's fields. And we have John's fields below. So let's fill out John's name and his date of birth and any of these other these are regular PDF form fields that we had in that PDF. And so either party can interact with those. And we'll scroll on down to the initials section. Here it is. And again, the recipient can either click on the green sign button, which will guide them to each subsequent area they need to initial or sign, or they can click on where it says initial or sign. And we'll go ahead and type in John's name. His initials already pre-populate, agree. So we're going to sign that. We'll sign the signature field down at the bottom. And that completes the signing, and we'll go ahead and send it, and the PDF will be sent. And again, the recipient has the opportunity to download a copy for their records as well. So let's take a look at now the completed document in our FormHippo account, the originator, the sender's account. So we'll refresh, and here is the completed document. And we will also get a email notification to our regular inbox that the form is completed and it's ready to view. So if we click on this, we'll see here's the completed form that's attached. If we click on that, it's going to open it up. And here's the form. We've got all the fields completed, signatures are in place, the initials are in place, and we've got a multi-party signed document. So that concludes our video for today. As a final note, this feature is available to all FormHippo subscribers, both basic and pro, as well as the free trial subscribers. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.